This is Bofades, and he is stuck in ZF until he earns 1,000,000 gold from this dungeon and this dungeon alone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where Bofades is stuck in ZF until he earns 1,000,000 gold. Today's episode is going to cover runs 111 through 120. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we made overnight. So it looks like we earned 1,821 gold overnight selling trade goods again. No recipes, no transmog, nothing really interesting here. I think by the end of this challenge, Greater Eternal Essence is going to make as much as any of the bigger items that we sell. Let's go ahead and get that in the bag, see where we start. All right, looks like we're starting today at 42,930 gold. And that is our official starting point today. I did check the other tunes that are part of his warband, and there were no transmog cells that came through. Before we start, I'd like to highlight a few comments. This first one says, "Love the series. I'm disappointed I found it so early, so I can't binge more. I hate farming, but somehow enjoy watching you farm and the loot box aspect of it. An idea for the series, could you somehow show some of the items you post and your thought process on how, where you price them? Keep it up. Look forward to this every day." As always, I appreciate the comments. Again, we are a relatively new channel, and engagement like this really helps out, so I appreciate it. So I can relate to being disappointed in finding a series early. Couple different times actually, and both examples pertain to what I'm doing here. One was several years ago when I stumbled upon Student's 100 runs videos, where he would run a dungeon 100 times and then share the results. I think I discovered that series whenever he had already made like 20 videos, 30 videos, something like that, and I spent a full weekend just watching them all. And the other example is Pathalarix's Goldbound series. Stumbled upon that series last year on like episode 2. And his posting frequency is every week or every other week, which is brutal to have to wait for, right? But he does such a good job of editing and packing every episode with enough content to like keep you engaged. So I've kind of given him a pass. But yeah, I would have loved to have stumbled upon that series like today with like 30 episodes to watch, each episode being like 30 minutes. So I feel you on that, man. And the second part of your question pertains to my thought process on how and where I price the items. I spent a lot of time looking at Undermine Exchange and TSM market value and comparing prices in high pop realms to medium to low pop. And it all comes down to how much of a hurry I'm in. Like if I want to sell something quickly and if I'm willing to put it on like a fire sale. Like if I wanted to quickly end this series, I would be putting everything on fire sale at like 10% what the market value is and just selling everything to flippers, which I may do some of that down the line, but I'm okay holding on to several of the items that I'm posting. And as far as deciding what to sell, I tend to look at the sell rate, and when I know I'm going to be getting a ton of items, I look for items that have a sell rate of 0.005 or higher, that tend to have unique appearances or perhaps share an appearance with like maybe one or two other items that are not as easy to get, and then I just wait. Patience is the key here. Next comment says, "Here at 371 subs, I'm going to ride with you, brother. Let's do this. Great content." I appreciate that comment, my brother. There have been a few times where I found a YouTuber, streamer, content creator early on in their journey and watched them grow over the course of a few months or a year or two. Felt like I was an OG. So I have no idea how successful we're going to be or how long this is going to go or what we're even doing here. I'm just happy that people are enjoying this right now. And getting to 1,000 subs or 500 subs or even 400 subs will be a win in my book. All right, last comment of the day. Will you upload the Scarlet Monastery series here? Why would I do that? Why would I taint this channel with the presence of Alliance scum? This is an Alliance versus Horde thing, and Bofades doesn't play nice with Alliance, especially if they're a Worgen. All right, with that out of the way, let's eat our fried bonefish. Let's start up Loot Appraiser, and let's get a big boy drop today, shall we? Yeah, I think that sounds good. Opulent Mantle, 8K market value. Middle belt. We got a Wind Chaser Orb, 16K market value. So when we look at the Wind Chaser Orb, we see that it has a 0.001 sell rate, right? And it's saying the region market value is 16K, but it shares appearances with what, 1, 2, 3, 4 other things. So it's the type of item that I wouldn't necessarily respect enough to keep a lot of or keep 4 of for like this challenge and post all 4. Highborn Pants. And I think you guys have figured out by now that if I just announce an item, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be posting it. I'm just kind of sharing what TSM is saying. Bone Link Sabatons. Oh, we got the Blood Razor. This one's pretty juicy. This is a juicy epic. We'll definitely spend some time looking at that one later. Is that our 4th epic in these runs? I know we got the Warden Staff twice, and we got the Black Skull Shield, right? Can't remember if we got another one. Another Witch Doctor's Cane. Memory is one of the first things to go with old age, right? Tyrant Shield, 17K market value. Ooh, Vanguard Legs. Yes! Khan's Helmet, Griffin Mail Gauntlets. Bloodforged Belt, 11K market value. These 10 runs are on track to be the best that we've had so far in the challenge. We are 18 minutes in at 716K market value. Protector Leg Guards. Alright, first round of vendoring there got us 350 gold. Sunscale gauntlets, 4K market value. Lofty arm guards from a scarab. War Leader's Greaves, 73K market value. Oh, another epic, guys. Flurry Axe. 2 epics in 10 runs is kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, it's RNG, right? Second round of vendoring there got us 199 gold. Jade Greaves. I think that's our 4th pair. Bloodwoven Boots. Another Eye Gouger. Brutish Boots, 10K market value. Hey, plans for the Mithril Scale Shoulders. Heroic Girdle, 37K market value. Another pair of Jade Greaves. Bloodforged Helmet, High Warden Crown, High Chief's Bindings, Bloodforged Belt. Alright guys, that does it for these 10 runs. I'm going to clean up my bags and then we will discuss how the hour went. Alright, I have cleaned up my bags a little. I'm not quite done yet, but this is good enough for us to look at to conclude this video. We got 8 Rich Illusion Dust, 116 Large Brilliant Shards, 42 Greater Eternal Essence. I think that's pretty close to our top. I think one time we got 45, 48, something like that. 49 Thick Leather, 16 Regular Leather, Cloth, hey, and 3 Fish. As far as Looter Praiser goes, this, I think, was our best hour across this entire challenge. The looted item value is 1.27 million. I'm going to keep more than 7 items, but the 7 items that I'm for sure going to keep and send off are these Jade Greaves right here. Got 2 pairs of these. I think 1 pair is going to be sent off to a different bank tune that's not a part of this warband. And if they sell, it will not be counted towards this challenge. I just know I have 4 of these now. We got another Eye Gouger. I think this is number 4. We got another Witch Doctor's Cane. This is at least 3. I think we got 2 in our last episode. We got the plans for the Mithril Scale Shoulders. This is what they look like. And then our 2 big items of the day that we're going to look at on Undermine Exchange, Flurry Axe and the Blood Razor. Alright, when we look at the Flurry Axe, we can see that one is actually going for 2,570 gold somewhere, and then the median is 47k. They're at 99 across US realms. When we take a closer look, we see that Kill Jaden has the lowest one, with Area 52 coming in a close second. Kind of surprised to see a low pop realm here in the top 4. So yeah, I'm going to take a look at my 4 realms, make sure that I'm not competing with too many people, and try to price this just right. Next item we're going to look at is the Blood Razor. 105 of these across US realms. Someone has it up for 4,500. 55k median. We see Silverhand again, a low pop realm, putting it up for 4,500. This is most likely the same person that posted the Flurry Axe. But anyway, we can see that it's at 4,500, which is way underpriced. Shoots up to 8k, and then 10k, and then very quickly gets to 20k. So same story as the Flurry Axe. I'm going to make sure that I'm not competing with too many people on whichever realm I decide to put it on. And let's go ahead and take a look at the plans for the Mithril Scale Shoulders. Low end, 2250, median, 25k. The low realm is Chromagus, a medium pop realm. And then we see Area 52 again, Moonguard. And there are 6 of these up on Asgalore. Asgalore was the very first realm that I made a character on, a hunter. Alright guys, that does it for this episode. I'm going to spend a few minutes going through all this stuff, trying to see what I should keep, what I should send off to other bank tunes. Oh, and before I forget, we got 4 lock boxes from these runs. We're getting very close to 50. I think we'll get it actually in the next 10 runs. And I think at the end of one of the upcoming episodes, we'll open all 50. And also, we ended this episode at 45,102 gold. It's obviously going to go down a little bit after I post a few things, but I'll make sure, as I always do, to look at it before we start the next 10 runs. So yeah, if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, engage however you like to engage with videos on YouTube. We're getting very close to 400 subs on this channel, and Bofades here is a little jealous of Socrates, who hit 500 subs last night. But anyway, until next time, take care. See you soon.